Hey y'all, what's up? JamiThatsMe here. Welcome back to the channel. Listen, I want to talk to you guys real quickly about some of the Real Housewives, okay? We got to talk about Katie Rost, her latest tweets. We also got to talk about some of the speculation regarding Robyn and Charisse. We also have to touch on Candace's recent interview that she did with content creator, producer, Mr. Archie, which was really good. And also we have to touch on a little bit of the sneak peek for Reunion Part 2. But before we get into everything, we definitely are going to be starting off with Katie. Now, a lot of you guys may not know, but Katie was previously a member of Real Housewives of Potomac, okay? Also, let's be very clear, Miss Katie has battled with, some type of drug issues or whatnot to a point where her children was taken away from her, okay? She has left the show, she's done rehab and everything, and she wants back in on the show, and I say give Katie a chance, okay? Now, Katie took to Twitter to let us know this. I've asked Andy Cohen to bring me back. I've apologized. I've gone to Shawl and said sorry. All that stuff. Radio silence is what she's getting. She says, I have a lot going on that a lot of people can relate to, and a lot has changed, okay? She says, I'm reliable. If they are still casting, hire me. I'm here and I'm real. Hashtag Real Housewives of Potomac for real. That's what Katie came to the front to let everybody know, that she is in dire need of a position. Of course, we know that she wants to get her children back. This is nothing new. Katie has definitely tweeted to Andy on more than one occasion. She has posted on Instagram and added Andy saying that she wanted back in. And I would think that Andy may slightly be, open to the idea, as we have seen Katie on the show at the top of the season when she decided to grab onto Ray's bottom, okay? So I feel like he might likely be open to that. They may just be trying to see where they want to fit her in, how they want to fit her in. And also, I think more importantly, he might actually be concerned, right? I'm sure he's open to having her back, but it does make me wonder if he's a bit concerned, considering the fact that she has been in a space where, she has abused, drugs or whatever, and she's had to go to rehab. I'm sure he questions whether or not, is this a safe space for Katie, especially amongst these ladies and how they like to act and how they like to throw your situations up in your face and everything, especially with the fans and stuff. Is this really the safest place for Katie to return? Or is this going to send her back into a space of where she's already been and having to result in going back into rehab? We're not necessarily sure. I would definitely love Katie back if she has indeed changed. And hopefully she's able to capitalize off of this particular opportunity in an amazing way, more than what she's ever done in her past. Okay, so we'll just have to wait and see. The verdict is definitely out at this time. Now, another verdict that happens to be out is the verdict about Miss Charisse and Miss Robyn Dixon. Now, y'all know Robyn Dixon withheld a very juicy storyline of hers the entire season, as we continue to watch a fake storyline continue to be pushed, and that was Mr. Chris Bassett making ladies either feel uncomfortable or ladies saying, oh, he was trying to holler at them, when that wasn't even the case, right? Well, according to Bravo Bees over on Twitter, they are alleging that Real Housewives of Potomac stars Robyn Dixon and Charisse Jackson Jordan are reportedly on the chopping block ahead of the show's 8th season. Though contracts have not been sent out, producers are allegedly preparing to move on from these women as they feel their stories are, quote unquote, complete. Okay, now we're not sure how true that is, but I did see a tweet from Bravo Bees saying that their information always comes from a source, okay, from a very, very reliable source close to the situation when it comes to Potomac. I'm not necessarily sure. I feel like for them to release Robyn at this time, I feel like she has a juicy storyline, whether we like it or not, because at some point we are going to want her to revisit that, and we are going to want to see her get her opportunity to be ridiculed by the ladies when it comes to her withholding her storyline. So I definitely see her getting the opportunity to come back. I don't necessarily see her on the chopping block, but because she withheld her story, that's pretty much like lying in the producer's face and playing in the producer's face. It does make me think, hey, girl, you could likely be on that chopping block, and they might not bring you back just because you played a little too much. Now, Charisse, upon your return to the season, you didn't bring us anything, in all honesty. Karen wasn't willing to go back and forth with you for real. So your purpose of really being on the show, I thought it was going to be greater than what it was. I feel like Jacqueline made more of an imprint than you did, being that, you are of Potomac, in the words of Miss Karen, okay? So yeah, but I feel like you really didn't bring anything this season. I feel like Jacqueline gave us more than what Charisse gave. So I definitely can see Charisse being on the chopping block, although I really feel like Charisse wasn't even on the block to begin with. She's not a primary cast member. We know that the friends of the show can be either a take or a leave. So it's not always a guarantee when it comes to them. And of course, it's not a guarantee when it comes to the housewives. But I would believe that their positions are likely stronger than some of the friends of the show. So as far as Charisse being on the chopping block, I'm not surprised, because I feel like all of them are. We saw how quick they gave us a Scala and how quick they put a Scala right back where she was, which I hate to see that. So y'all can bring her back. We would love to see it. But that's what's pretty much going on. I want to get you guys' thoughts. How would you feel if Charisse and Robyn were to officially leave the show? And what's also interesting is that they're saying no contracts have went out, yet we're hearing from other people saying, oh, contracts have went out and at least one housewife may not be returning. And then it seems like the person is alluding to the fact that it may be Wendy. And for me, I feel like that's not true. I don't think any of these ladies are in a position to where they would want to leave this show. It's too beneficial to them at this time, for their brands, for their businesses, for their families. Like it's just too beneficial for them to leave at this time. Maybe Candace Dillard. Maybe Candace, I can see her leaving. Not at this time, but in due time, I can see her leaving. And that is something that she talked about over on Archie's show. And we'll get to that in just a second. But she definitely touched on when it's her time to go, okay? And we'll get into that. But I ultimately want to hear you all's thoughts about Robyn and Charisse likely leaving the show. So, and how we're getting a lot of these mixed reviews where some people are like, oh, no contracts have been sent out. Then we're hearing people say, oh, contracts have been sent out, but somebody may not be returning. It's a lot of rumors. Now, I do believe that it's always been this way. Once the reunion and everything is wrapped, shortly after that, contracts will then go out. I feel like that's a common thing. I don't think anybody has received a contract prior to the reunion being over. I just don't believe that. So anyone saying somebody's probably going to leave on their own accord, I don't necessarily believe that. So we'll just have to wait and see, okay? But let's go ahead and move on, because again, like I said, I want to talk about Miss Candace Dillard and the interview that she had with Archie, okay? Now, Candace says that she's really shocked that people are now saying how much they love her after hating her for so long. She says she's a bit perplexed about how long it's taking people to catch up. She says a lot of people are like, oh my God, I love Candace, because it seems like she's changed and this and that. And she's like, I mean, it is a little bit of growth, but in all honesty, girl, I've been this person this entire time. You guys are just now paying attention.
I'm the same person. I'm the same person. Yes, there's been growth.
Yeah.
I mean, there has been growth.
I mean, hopefully we all growing.
If you don't grow, you're dead.
Better. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
But I resent, some of the, I love Candace this season because she's so different. No, you just woke up.
You woke up.
And I have to co-sign that, as I've already told you guys, okay? I have to co-sign that. She also goes on to speak on Robyn Dixon and how much she loves Robyn, and she feels like Robyn has been a real homegirl to her. But she did admit that she was heavily disappointed in the fact that, you had your own juicy storyline that you could have brought to the forefront, but you allowed the storyline, the lying storyline about my husband, to continue to carry. That's messed up. And I think Candace has every right to still be upset with Robyn. I think Candace has every right to reevaluate that friendship with Robyn, because Robyn literally sat up there and tried to condemn Candace's feelings by telling this lady, hey, because Robyn sat up there and tried to make Candace feel away by saying, hey, let's be honest, can we all agree that a married man should not be in a hotel with a single woman, right? For Robyn to say that to this woman, trying to convince her to just go along to get along and make it seem like Gizelle was right, I feel like, Robyn, you was out of line knowing that you had your own situation going on. So how are you trying to manipulate Candace's mind to just go along to get along? You make no sense. You look like a fool. You made yourself look like an utter fool. And I believe that Candace did kind of mention that, like, you made yourself look more of a fool than I could. Now, another thing Candace did mention when it comes to who she likes on the cast, she says that Wendy is definitely her girl. She's going to give everybody a chance. Well, not everybody, right? Because she ain't featuring Gizelle. And she could leave or take Karen, in all honesty. I guess the verdict is out on Robyn, but at the end of the day, she says that Wendy is really her girl. So we'll see just how much of her girl Wendy is. Now, she also goes on to touch on Monique real briefly, because Archie asked the question about, ever since the altercation with Monique, has she been ever hesitant to film or anything? And Candace was pretty much like, no, she hasn't necessarily felt that way. But of course, she doesn't want to talk about a woman that is now unemployed, okay? And this is coming out of Candace's mouth. She refers to Monique as unemployed. I guess it's unemployed when it comes to reality TV, okay? She does have like a radio show or something she's doing, but you know, in the reality TV world, it's giving unemployed, okay? Now, she also goes on to say that she has a plan when it comes to leaving reality TV. I believe at one point she's going to want to elevate her career even more than what it already is. And in order to propel her career, she may have to take a step back from Real Housewives. And she says that she does have a plan in place, okay? And she kind of mentions that in different interviews that I've listened to throughout the season. So it seems like if Bravo were to not give her a contract, she already has her plan in place. And it also seems like if they continue to issue her a contract, she's going to continue to take it until maybe she lands that one major opportunity that she wants, and then she's going to likely take a step back from Real Housewives of Potomac. But she definitely hopes to leave the franchise on like a good accord, to a place where she can likely return at a later time. And I'm here for that at the end of the day. So do whatever you think is the best thing for you. And I think that having a plan is always smart, especially if the contract does not renew. Have a plan. I'm here for it. And if you decide that this is enough for me, I'm out, you still have a plan. So I like that. Now, as we continue to speak on Candace and her relationships amongst the ladies, we have to go back to this sneak peek, because she is definitely going to continue to let Gizelle have it at this reunion. Now, Gizelle says that Candace actually made the situation with Chris bigger than what it needed to be. And I have to disagree with that, because I feel like had you not even brought said situation to the table, there would have been no reason for her to respond or make it bigger or whatever. You can't put something out there and then tell a person that they're overreacting to it. So you brought this on yourself when you brought it to the front. But what got me as I watched the sneak peek was the fact that Mia tried to jump in and co-sign Gizelle. And I said, Mia, please have a seat. Please sit back, because this is the same woman that slick accused you and your husband of embezzling. You might want to be careful about who you defend. And in addition to that, Candace has also been that person that's defended Gizelle, and Gizelle has turned around and slapped her in the face this season. So Miss Mia, I don't know how many times Gizelle has to show you, because now you're in the position of Miss Candace, where Gizelle has done things and we have been wanting to tell her that lady ain't your friend for real. And then here it is, she's having to learn the hard way. Well, it seems like you're going to have to do that as well, okay? But either way, good luck. Mia had the audacity to ask Candace, what's wrong with acknowledging that your friend was being treated inappropriately by your husband? Well, number one, what's wrong with acknowledging that, Miss Mia, is the fact that Gizelle did not say that he treated her inappropriately. She just said that she felt uncomfortable. So she's not being clear about anything. So what is there for Miss Candace to understand? That's number one. Number two, ma'am, I know you don't want to discuss friends and them being treated inappropriately after how you disrespected and treated your very own friend, Miss Jacqueline. I know you don't want to go there. Girl, it's too many of y'all that need to sweep around your own front door that seems to keep opening up the front door and jumping into somebody else's business, girl. No, ma'am. Handle your porch before you step off your porch, okay? Get that together, ma'am. Now, the conversation about the audio that Robyn decided to leak to the group comes up, right? And she says that she was actually sent the audio of Candace. That's why she only played that clip. Even though on the same live, Candace was bigging up Miss Robyn's businesses. She actually was speaking very positively about Robyn. But Robyn says, oh, I just felt a way about how Candace was treating me on the trip. Candace treated you like that because you were being disrespectful to her friend Wendy. So it's killing me that you're not acknowledging what it is that you're doing wrong and how you could possibly be better. If anything, you just get mad at Candace because Candace is siding with Wendy. When Candace should have been mad at you in the beginning, the way that you continue to let Gizelle spew out this BS and you acted like you were on her side, only to turn around and tell Gizelle that Candace is dramatizing the situation. Like, girl, you are hypocrites. Hypocrites is what it's giving. But anywho, Robyn says that she played the audio of Miss Candace because it was sent to her. And she felt as though everybody should know what Candace was saying about them as far as them not being loyal and how they're peddling their businesses across the United States. But my thing is, if you could say all of this about Candace and put it on display, why did you not put your own situation on a PowerPoint presentation for everybody in the world to see? Yikes, it just makes you look worse and worse. So Candace pretty much told Robyn, girl, you made yourself look stupid and you embarrassed yourself. So that has nothing to do with me. Now, when it comes to Wendy stepped up to say that she doesn't like that Candace sees Robyn as more loyal to her than anyone else is. Because when Robyn exposed Candace, Wendy said she leaned over and was like, girl, this your queen? This your loyalty queen? This the woman that you kind of look up to or whatever the case is? Is this her? Is this what you're talking about? So Candace just pretty much says, listen, I don't have one good girlfriend that I look up to, and I don't like one more than the other. I just don't. And I kind of feel like you do. It seems like you feel like you have a bit of loyalty there to Robyn, and I feel like you need to start looking at Robyn how you look at Gizelle. I don't think Wendy has done anything ever in the arena of Robyn trying to embarrass you and trying to incite a mob on you. I don't think Wendy has done any of that. The most Wendy has done was form a relationship with Ashley. That is the most that she has done. So you might want to reevaluate that friendship when it comes to Miss Robyn, okay? But that's all that I got. I wanted to come to you guys real quickly so that we could chit chat about some of these housewives over there on Potomac. You guys get down in the comments and let me know your thoughts about everything that we just discussed, okay? I'm Jamie, that's me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share my videos, or follow me on Instagram and Twitter at JamiThatsMe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.